Hello, children. Hope you must be enjoying with your families during this breakdown time. What is the most thing you like when you are in the school? Can you recollect? Yes, for some children, it's playing games. For some, music. For some, it's painting, drawing. Of course, there are some who really like studies. But for most of us, this is not a favorite thing. Alright, what is the thing you generally discuss about in the school, in the classroom, before teacher arrives or before school is over? Can you guess in? Can you guess it? Of course, it is homework. Yes, whenever a homework is given soon after teacher leaving, we keep discussing how to go about it, what should we do, and all that. And sometimes children, when they go home, they also take help from their parents. Some they ask their mothers to literally do it. Okay, some they do, some they take help. But anyway, when they come back to school again, they keep discussing about the homework. Okay, today we're going to learn a lesson about homework. That is, who did Patrick's homework? Homework is a very common word in the school. Alright, the lesson by name Who Did Patrick's Homework? This is Unit 1 and Class 6th. This lesson was written by Carol Moore. Her name is Annie Carol Moore. She was an American educator, writer, advocate for children's libraries. Even after Carol Moore's retirement, she still continued in teaching. So she knows better about homework. So here she wrote about a lesson, Who Did Patrick's Homework? The books, the publications of Carol Moore are Roads to Childhood, My Roads to Childhood, The Three Owls, Crossroads to Childhood, Nicholas and the Golden Goose, Reading for Pleasure, A Century of Kate Greenway, The Choice of Hobby, New Roads to Childhood. Okay, before we get into this lesson, okay, let's see the summary in a brief way. What this story about? The lesson Who Did Patrick's Homework is written by Carol Moore. The present lesson tells us that how a lazy boy becomes hard worker in doing his homework at the end of his semester. Patrick was a lazy boy who was so interested in playing games but not interested in doing his homework. So all his teachers used to warn him to do his homework, otherwise he would learn nothing. Sometimes he also felt an ignoramus, uneducated. But what to do? He hated homework so much. One day, Patrick had seen his cat playing with a little doll and he grabbed it away. To his surprise, that was an elf little man, human being, wearing wool shirt and old pant and a tall hat. He was requesting Patrick to save him from cat, and then he will give whatever he wish. So Patrick saved the elf and asked to do all his homework till the end of semester, but the elf didn't like it, yet agreed to do so. Like this elf started doing homework of Patrick, but he doesn't know anything about Patrick's subjects. So he always used to take the help of Patrick. Patrick has to bring all books from library to read them to elf. He has to sit beside him to tell about maths. Like this day and night Patrick worked hard with puffed eyes. As semester completed, Elf completed all the homework of Patrick as he promised and escaped from the house. At the end of the semester, Patrick got A grade for all subjects. His classmates and parents became surprised. His teachers appreciated his talent, and then he became the model student of the school. He also changed his behavior then onwards. At the end of the lesson, Patrick thought that Elf had done his homework, but truth is that he himself has done his homework. This is about who did Patrick's homework. Come, let's read the lesson. Look into it carefully. Are you ready, children? Here we go. Patrick never did homework. Too boring, he said. He played hockey and basketball and Nintendo instead. His teachers told him, Patrick, do your homework or you you won't learn a thing. Patrick, do your homework or you won't learn a thing. And it is true. Sometimes he did feel like an ignoramus. But that could he do? What could he do? He hated homework. Then one day he found his cat playing with a little doll and he grabbed it away. To his surprise, it wasn't a doll. It wasn't a doll at all, but a man of the tiniest size. He had a little wool shirt with old-fashioned breeches and a high, tall hat, much like a witch's. He yelled, Save me! Don't give me back to that cat! I'll grant you a wish. I promise you that. Patrick couldn't believe how lucky he was. Here was the answer to all of his problems. So he said, Only if you do all my homework till the end of the semester, that's 35 days. If you do a good enough job, I could even get A's. The little man's face wrinkled like a dishcloth thrown in a hamper. He kicked his legs and doubled his fist, and he grimaced and scowled and pursed his lips. Oh, am I cursed? But I'll do it. And true to his word, that little elf began to do Patrick's homework. Except there was one glitch. The elf didn't always know what to do and he needed help. Help me, he would say, and Patrick would have to help. In whatever way. I don't know this word, the elf squeaked while reading Patrick's homework. Get me a dictionary. No, what's even better? Look up the word and sound it out by each letter. When it came to maths, Patrick was out of luck. What are times tables? The elf shirked. We elves never need that. And addition and subtraction and division and fractions. Here, sit down beside me. You simply must guide me. Elves know nothing of human history. To them, it's a mystery. So the little elf, already a shouter, just got louder. Go to the library. I need books. More and more books. And you can help me read them too. As a matter of fact, every day, in every way, that little elf was a nag. Patrick was working harder than ever and was it a drag. He was staying up nights, had never felt so weary, was going to school with his eyes puffed and bleary. Finally, The last day of school arrived, and the elf was free to go. As for homework, there was no more, so he quietly and slyly slipped out the back door. Patrick got his ace. His classmates were amazed. His teachers smiled and were full of praise. And his parents, they wondered what had happened to Patrick. He was now the model kid. Cleaned his room, did his chores, was cheerful, never rude, like he had developed a whole new attitude. You see, in the end, Patrick still thought he would make that tiny man to do all his homework. But I'll share a secret, just between you and me. It wasn't the elf. Patrick had done it himself. Alright, before we get into the lesson, let's see the difficult words, children. Who did Patrick's homework? What are you thinking? Whom do you want to use for doing your homework? Mom, dad, your siblings, your tutor? Okay, let's see. Nintendo, a video game. Nintendo is a company of playing video games. So it's a playing a video game. Okay. Ignoramus. Okay. An ignorant person who lacks education. Who doesn't know? Ignorance is not having the information, not knowing. Ignoramus. A person who is ignorant, who lacks education. You call it illiterate, uneducated. Breeches. Breeches are short trousers. The writer here spells it for fun because we have witches. You know what is witch? Witch is a which subject you like, it's okay. Another witch is a devil. It's a witch, or you call it as a devil. So in order to match with the word witch, here the word breeches are used. Okay? Breeches. Breeches are short trousers. The writer here spells it for fun to rhyme with the word witches. Okay. Dishcloth, a cloth used for washing dishes. Children, you must be observing the helper at your home, or mom, or your sisters, when they wash clothes, they use scrubbers. Okay, a cloth which is washing for clothes is a dishcloth that's used for washing dishes. And hamper, it's a basket with a lid. Usually when we keep the soiled clothes, you use your clothes and you don't put them for washing. Suppose you have washing machine at home, you don't put clothes in washing machine every day. So you keep gathering for 3 days or 5 days. You keep all those things in a bin, isn't it? Bin for soiled clothes. That is hamper. Hamper is a basket with a lid where you keep soiled clothes. Grimaced, scowl, okay, pursed his lips. Grimace is an ugly, twisted expression on a person's face, typically expressing disgust, pain. When it is difficult, when it is unpleasant, and that will be shown on your face with your expression by making foldings on your face. And scowl, it's an angry or bad-tempered expression. When you feel bad about something, that can be seen on your face with your expression. Face is the index. Face is the index of mind. Whenever you feel happy, one can read it out. When you are unhappy, one can see it. When you are angry, it can be seen. Several times we answer with our eyes. Sometimes we also answer with our lips. Okay. And purse. One purse we know is a wallet where we keep our money. A small pouch of leather or plastic used for carrying money. But here this purse is verb. Okay. Grimaced, scowled. Okay. Pursed his lips. Okay. This purse is not a noun where we keep our money. It's not a wallet. But this is with reference to the lips. Pucker or contract, typically to express disapproval or irritation. I told you, we express a lot of things with our face. Eyes speaks volumes. It speaks yes or no. And even the forehead, the cheeks, chin. Okay, when we want to say no, that is expressed through our lips. Did you notice? Okay, children, have you seen kids, babies before crying? When they cry, we make out the face. When they're about to cry, don't you see a kind of foldings on their lips? Okay, this is purse. Okay, grimaced, scowled. Okay, pursed his lips. His face had these expressions showing disgust, anger, and disapproval. He's not happy, and all his unhappiness was shown through his lips, his frown, his face, and every way. He says, "Oh, it is too hard for me." Something like that. Okay, glitch. Glitch. It's a problem. Okay, actually, it's an informal word. A fault in a machine that prevents it from working properly. But for us, it's a problem, a hitch or a problem. And shrieked gave a short, high-pitched cry. Okay, suddenly when you make loud noise, sharp noise, that is shrieking, that is shrieked. Okay, then goes nag. Nag, one who troubles someone all the time by complaining or asking them to do something. Picking it. Keep on picking, keep on troubling, asking. Do you remember fowls, children, birds, hens? You throw some grains for them to eat. Keep on picking, picking, picking. So nagging is something. Keep on troubling for every now and then. Continuously asking, troubling. This is nagging. One who troubles someone all the time by complaining or asking them to do something. It's nagging. Of course, children do ask a lot of things to parents. That sort of innocence that will be pleasant. And children don't feel disgusted. Instead, they keep answering every question. The same thing is done by adults or big people. It will be troublesome. Okay, drag. An informal word, something dull and uninteresting. And slyly, secretively. Come, let's go to the lesson. Who did Patrick's homework? Patrick never did homework. Too boring. Okay. For Patrick, homework is boring. But what was the pleasant things for him to do? Just look at the first part of this. For him, what thing was boring? Homework. But what was the pleasant for him? Playing. What playing? Okay. Hockey, basketball, and also playing video games. He loved playing video games and games in the streets and in the grounds, like hockey and basketball, etc. He played, but homework it's boring. Okay, do you think somebody must have warned him, Patrick, if you don't do homework, you won't be scoring much, you won't flourish in your life? Yes. See, who was warning? Patrick, do your homework or you won't learn a thing. Who must have been doing this? Teachers. Whenever he goes to school and has to submit homework, who didn't submit homework today? As usual, Patrick. There could be something else, but someone else. But Patrick is a routine thing. Of course, they must have did several things, but one way, gently reminding Patrick, my dear boy, remember, if you don't do homework, you can't learn, and you will become an illiterate. He says, sometimes he did feel like an ignoramus. I said, that's right. Sometimes Patrick felt, I didn't know. When his friends were discussing about a thing or some other things, he says, oh, I don't know about it. So he felt he was an illiterate. But what could he do? See, when he come across certain things, when he doesn't know, he wants to know. He wish he should know what it is. That comes only by studying. But he doesn't like studying, he doesn't like homework because it's boring. But he says, but what could he do? He hated homework. As per homework is concerned, he hated it. But as per the learning is concerned, he wanted to learn. Children, is this possible? If for you, you don't want to do any homework, you don't want to study well, but still you want to know everything. Is that possible? I don't think so. There is no shortcut for learning. You have to learn. Yeah, some children work so hard, some need not. They may be brilliant, gifted, they can grasp soon. But there is no shortcut but to work. Right. He has a problem. He is in the struggle. At one side, he hates homework, but that is helpful. Other side, he loves games. Yeah, that's okay. He enjoys playing games, but he is missing something in his life which he didn't like to. Look, he says, but what could he do? He wanted in such a way that without doing even homework, he wants to know everything. Is it possible somewhere, children? Of course, we can go for this Aladdin's magic lamp. Okay, you know about Aladdin's magic lamp, right? Anything you want, you just rub the lamp. Jinn will appear and say, yes, master, what do you want? Ask for anything. Say, please do my math homework, it is done. Please say that I learned this, it's done. Anything you want, it will do. Okay, you want suppose video games, you will get it. You want a laptop, you want a mobile, you want for your dad nice motor car, you will get it. You want a beautiful bungalow, you just say, I want, you will have it. But do you think that's practical in our life? It's not practical. In our life, we need to work hard and procure and acquire. Right. Then one day, he found his cat playing with a little doll and he grabbed it away. Okay. As the cat was playing, he just pulled it from the cat, something. Looked like a doll. To his surprise, it wasn't a doll. It wasn't a doll at all, but a man of the tiniest size. Children, this elves, this is actually a supernatural creature of folk tales. It's not real. It's not real people. It's a created in the stories, in the literature. Folk tales. A supernatural creature of folk tales, typically represented as a small, delicate, elusive figure in human form with pointed ears, magical powers, and a capricious nature. So here you have a lot of books about elves. You have even novels. Since it's a vacation, you are at home with the family, you can download some novels of elves and you can read them. Okay. He thought cat was playing with a doll, but to his surprise, it was a tiniest size, a man of the tiniest size. He had a little wool shirt with old-fashioned breeches and a high, tall hat, much like of a witch's. Okay, it's a not doll, but a tiny, small size of human being, and he wore a shirt. Okay, it's a wool shirt and a pants. Okay, and he has a hat, is a tall hat. You know what the witches wear. If we can't understand this witches, at least for when you have seen magic, when you see magic show, you see the magicians putting on a hat, tall hat, something of that sort. This tiny human being was putting on a tall hat with a pants and with a woolen shirt. Okay, and he yelling is screaming, shouting. Not gently whispering, not lovingly telling, but he screamed, said, he yelled, save me, don't give me back to that cat. I'll grant you a wish. I promise you that. He says, my dear human being, please save my life. I'll grant you a wish. You know, Aladdin's magic lamp, any wish, just say, you will get it done. Same way he says, I'll grant you a wish. I promise you that. Okay. Patrick couldn't believe how lucky he was. Why do you think Patrick is so lucky? He feels so lucky because Patrick hates homework. He doesn't want to do homework. But when he really see the things, he feels he was like an illiterate. But he didn't want to remain like an illiterate. He wants to know things, but without working hard. But here there is a shortcut. Here is a tiny human being, an elf, who says, I'll grant you a wish. Whatever you ask for, I'll grant it. He felt it's a great luck for him. Patrick couldn't believe how lucky he was. Here was the answer to all of his problems. So he said, only if you do all my homework till the end of the semester, that's 35 days. If you do a good enough job, I could even get A's. He was happy. He wanted to save this elf and says, you help me. You not help. You do my homework till end of the semester. Like a terms we have, right? Maybe the day he found the doll till the end of the term, a semester was 35 days. Yes, till 35 days, you keep doing my homework, then I can get even A's. Okay. The little man's face wrinkled. Say, look, this is a human being, and human being studies subjects. These are all different, and this is an elf. It's from different world. Okay. When he heard this wish, the little man's face wrinkled like a dishcloth thrown in the hamper. His face, there was a foldings on his face which says, too difficult. How can I do that? These are the subjects studied by human beings, and I do not know anything. How can I do that? Okay, his face wrinkled like a dishcloth. Okay, he was desperate. He was disturbed. Look the description. He kicked his legs and doubled his fist, and he glamazed and scowled and pursed his lips. He was folding his lips, biting his lips, hitting each other with his fist, kicking his legs, folding his face, and saying, what shall I do? And he says, oh, I'm cursed. Hey, what happened, man? Where are you saying? Then elf says, look, how can I? This boy is asking me to do all his homework, not one day, till the end of the semester. How can I ever do that? I already granted him wish, otherwise I'll become a delicious food for the cat. Of course, he saved me. It's my responsibility to do that. But how can I do that? So he says, oh, am I cursed? But I'll do it. And the true to his word, little elf began to do Patrick's homework. Except there was one glitch. The elf didn't always know what to do, and he needed help. Help, help me, he would say, and Patrick would have to help in whatever way. Elf says, okay, I'll help you, but one problem. What's that? I don't actually what to do. You should help me. You know, children, sometimes when you go home and your mother will be asking, Beta, what did you study today? And you say English. I say, which lesson? This lesson. Tell me about it. You will tell the lesson. Okay, what else took place? Sir gave notes. Read that notes. We'll be reading it. Again, next, what subject? Okay, Marathi. Then science. See, your mother may be illiterate. She doesn't know how to read and write, but make you to keep on asking you. Make you to keep on telling what you have learned. Children, you know what happens in the process? Because your mother is asking every day, you listen to the subject in the classroom very carefully. Even if you like the subject or not, that's secondary, but for the sake of your mother, who will be inquiring at home, you listen that lesson very carefully. And when you go home, you will be very anxious to meet your mother and to say, Mom, look, this is the lesson today. This is what our teacher taught. All right. The same magic was applied here. Here is an elf who do not know anything, but he has decided to help Patrick. So he is asking Patrick, what is this? What is this? What is this? Patrick doesn't know. So he was reading and trying to know and trying to explain elf. In the process, he was knowing the answers. Okay, assignment is okay. Answer this. There's questions. Okay, he reads the questions. He say, okay, where is this answer? Elf will ask. Oh, answer is here. Read it. Again. See, as Patrick read once, twice, thrice, he got the answer. Then he'll tell elf, wait, hold on, I'll read the answer. Okay. Next question. See, this is how there has been a continuous conversation between elf and Patrick. Elf was only prompting questions, asking questions, and Patrick was doing everything. Okay. When it comes to mathematics, he says, we don't have maths. We don't have tables, all these things. Then when he was reading from the notebooks, elf was not able to understand. Oh, I don't understand this. Then he says, please go to the library. Okay, get the books. What books, children? Reference books. Okay, get the books. Keep reading. As Patrick was reading those reference books for elf, he himself understood what it is and kept on solving. Okay. Because elf kept on posing number of questions basing on the homework, and Patrick kept on answering, kept on studying, listening to carefully in the classroom and coming and answering Patrick and paying so much attention. Okay, he reduced his time of playing. He was not going to the basketball court or he was not playing video games. Instead, he was referring to the books, reading, because elf will be asking every bit. In the process, he kept on doing. Okay, the semester was over. His results has come. He got A grade, and everybody was happy. Finally, the last day of school arrived, and the elf was free to go. As for homework, there was no more. So he quietly and slyly slipped out of the back door. Semester over, he quietly slipped away. Okay, Patrick got A grade. Classmates were amazed. Hey, is this the boy who said homework is boring? Is this the boy who always liked playing video games? But what happened? He got A grade. His teachers smiled and were full of praise. And the child became role model. And teachers began to say, you need to be like Patrick. Look at his work, look at his grades. He is doing wonderfully well. Patrick still thought it was the elf who helped. But it wasn't that. It wasn't true. He himself was doing it. As he was working hard, he was knowing so many things. He developed confidence. He started winning favor of his friends, and he developed positive attitude. And even parents were surprised. Okay, and his parents, they wondered what had happened to Patrick. He was now the model kid. Cleaned his room, did his chores, was cheerful, never rude, like he had developed a whole new attitude. Then parents were thinking, it's a new child altogether. He does all his chores by himself. Children, who does jobs at your home, in your room? Who settles books? Mom or dad? No. Keep doing yourself henceforth. Okay. Who cleaned your room? Is Tayi, Maushi, helper? Do it yourself. Look, here is Patrick, who did everything himself, cleaning his room. Okay, doing his chores. Chores are the routine works, daily works, like a sweeping, maybe, dusting the table, chair, settling the books, keeping the toys in proper place after playing, settling the bed, all those chores. So, do chores by yourself in your room. Also help your parents, help your mother, help your father. You keep studying during this breakdown days, also start helping. You need to be a good boy. You need to be a great child. And your parents should say, oh, what an amazing change in my child. Because you can do. Though Patrick thought he cannot do, but at the end we have seen Patrick done it himself. Patrick had done it himself. In this place, put your name. Put your name and read. I had done it myself. I had done it. Put your name and read it. You can do that. You can do that. So, have all the best for this vacation and have a great time with your family. Bye bye, children.